Hello everyone, Impiator here, and welcome back to my Newcomer's Guide for Elden Ring. This is part 21. So, in the last episode, we tackled some of the Western Liurnia stuff. We went for the roads and catacombs. We killed another Erdtree avatar. We went over to the Revenger's Shack, where we got invaded by Edgar, which we ended up having to kill him, and that completed both his quest as well as his daughter Irina's quests. In the process, we got another Shibuya grape, took it over to Hyetta, and we progressed her quest. We killed the Knight's Cavalry that was over here, and then we started exploring some of this area here. So we picked up some items while we were here. So I'll go ahead and remove these markings. And we kind of traveled along the right-hand side here up to the Raya Lucaria Crystal Tunnel. So we are done with that place as well. What we're going to be tackling in this episode will be heading for a death bird over here. We're going to head for another one over here near a grace that I had us avoid because of said death bird. So we'll be tackling those in this episode. We're also going to head down to the Cliffbottom Catacombs. And then we're going to finally head over to the Academy Crystal Cave. But first, we're going to go grab some upgrades. I've been kind of neglecting my upgrades up to this point on my gear, so let's head over to Master Hugh first.
Well, I took you no matter to lay out your own.
We'll go ahead and grab some upgrades for our box stick. I'll go ahead and do upgrades, I guess, for the short bow too. So by this point, you should have your upgrades up to plus, I would say 6. Whenever, by the time we head towards the Raya Lucaria Academy. Obviously, I've been directing you to pick up quite a few smithing stones throughout, so you should be able to level up a couple of weapons, probably past plus 6 by this point. Obviously, the Reduvia that I'm using utilizes somber smithing stones. You'll probably be at plus 2 or 3. With that at this point, unless you've been collecting like I have, or following the guides more specifically. So in this case though, we've done that. One thing I do want to call out is that we're sitting at level 45 right now. And I would say the level that you want to be at for Raya Lucaria Academy is going to be between 40 and 50. So I would say we're probably going to not start Raya Lucaria Academy until not the next episode, but the following episode. So, but if you wanted to, maybe you're having trouble with these bosses or even the previous bosses, this is a great time to go tackle this place at this point. You should be able to complete it between level 40 and 50. Otherwise, though, the next thing we're going to do is another thing I've been kind of neglecting, which is to give over our death root over to Gronk. So we should have, we've collected 2 previously and given him 2 previously. We've since collected 2 more. And this is actually going to progress his state. So go ahead and talk to him, give him 1. He's going to give you Bestial Vitality, which is a pretty nice ability. Give him another.
The dead ring.
He's going to give you the Ash of War Beast Roar. Now it's advisable that at this point you don't approach him, because once you rest, he's going to become aggressive. So he is much too heavy to handle right now of a boss, but there are a few tricks to get him back to his normal state, and we'll be doing that at a later time in order to start giving him death root again. So once you beat him, once you get him down to a certain percentage of his health, that will basically kind of make him come back to his senses. But at this point, you do not want to go up to him. He will murder you at the level that we're at right now. Anyway, we're going to head over to the Scenic Isle where Patches is. This is the closest grace to the Deathbird. So it does have to be night for the Deathbirds to come out. So let's go ahead and pass until nightfall. In addition, as far as what you might want to use against this particular boss, as well as the next boss, is if you are a incantation user. This enemy is weak to holy damage, so if you got anything that produces holy at this point, that's going to be good. In addition, this boss as well as the next boss are both undead, so if you got anything that produces holy damage and heals you, that's also going to be effective too. So things like that can, of course, be very beneficial. And a proper death would be great. This is going to end up being super effective against an enemy like this because it'll leave a patch on the ground, basically. We don't have the intelligence or faith requirements to cast it, but we do have Ashes of War. So I'm going to go ahead and equip an Ash of War to our club. And again, I've been recommending that you carry a bonk stick with you. In fact, the first two bosses, as well as the last boss we're going to be facing in this episode, all are going to be useful with the bonk stick. These first two, though, are going to be best with a sacred-based bonk stick. So you could do Golden Vow or Ash of War Sacred Blade. I'm going to do Sacred Blade. And what this one actually does for us is if we use the ability, it sends a bunch of energy towards it in an arc. And then you also, of course, gain the ability to attack now, temporarily anyway, with holy damage. Anyway, it's also pretty cheap. So we're going to head down over to this. So as you can see, that does a whole mess of damage. Stay underneath his legs if you can. Otherwise, he should be pretty easy. It's the second one that's going to be, I would say, a challenge. So you're going to get the red feathered branch sword. This is actually kind of pairs with another one that we got from a previous Deathbird. So we previously got the blue feathered branch sword. This one raises attack power when HP is low, though. Otherwise, let's head for the Academy Gate Town. So I recommend staying on the right side of the buildings because if you're on the left side, you will end up getting the spawn for this boss. So the spawn is a little further up, but just along this area here. So this will be nice having a grace right near here just in case we happen to die. Okay, so as far as this one's concerned, this one's a good bit tougher than the last one. He has some of the same attacks, however, he has a lot more attacks. So he'll have this attack where he flies off and he'll basically kind of thrust its wings at you and launch a bunch of these pole arms, basically, that land around you. So there will be kind of an area on the ground that's marked where they're going to fly and hit. However, they will follow you as you move to the side, so be aware of that. You'll want to get out of the way pretty quickly. His other really big deal attack, though, is he'll kind of partially light on fire, blue fire, and he will explode. And whenever he does that, he's going to not only do a whole bunch of damage to you with the explosion, but he's also going to leave fire on the ground. And this fire actually causes frostbite. So it can do some serious damage to you very, very quickly. So I would try to get away from him whenever he starts doing that attack. He also has the ability to slam his weapon into the ground and make a smaller explosion that basically does the same thing. Not as effective against you, though. And then he's also got this other attack that he's going to do where he'll basically have a bunch of spirits that he summons, and those will fly to you. So fly towards you, and they are homing on you. So you'll want to dodge out of the way for those. run away from them as best you can. Otherwise, though, this enemy has frostbite, as I said. He also has death abilities, so he can equip both of those for the fight. So let's go ahead and head into the fight. Alright, that's the attack we want to get away from. That was awesome. I did not plan for that, but hey, it looked like I did. Anyway, so you got the ability I was talking about, Ancient Death Rancor. So this is a sorcery. So summon a horde of vengeful spirits to chase down foes. All right, so with that, now we're going to head to the Cliffbottom Catacombs. Now, if you've been through this place, maybe you probably think this place is not that hard, but I think the big enemies that are in here are really irritating, so I hate this place. So I usually hold off on doing this place until about now. So looks like we're about around 1600 away from a level. Let's go ahead and pop a golden rune. All right, so as usual, these places have imps in it. Those are the least of your concerns, though. So as this goes down, you can walk off of it, grab some glovewort, and then we're going to roll down. So there's an enemy around the corner. I'm going to go and bait this one to come to us. In fact, I want more stamina. There we go. So some more root resin. We got a boss door that's really near the race, which is always appreciated. Around the corner here, we got another imp. Some more glovewort. Eventually, we're going to be going down there, by the way, to get some items. For now, though, we're going to head through here. So get this guy to drop down and then let him get killed by the traps. I love traps. When they're not used against me. Okay, so this is the reason why I don't like this place. You might remember dealing with one of these in Stormville Castle. So we can get behind this guy if your timing is good and do a backstab, or not. So this guy's moves are really unusual. So timing can be a little strange, trying to get in one swing and then rolling, which is what I generally recommend. See, he doesn't obey the rules of roll and then swing, roll and then swing. Just me, very strangely timed attacks. I don't like this place at all. Anyway, I got some more glove wort down here. Go ahead and pick that up. And we got 5 more of these guys, I think, to deal with. 4 or 5, I can't remember. Anyway, there's one that's going to come around here. I'm going to stab him, but there are enemies up there that are going to be throwing pots at us, so I'm actually going to convince him to come down here. Alright, so we're gonna deal with these guys before we deal with the stuff that's down there. Alright, so over here is a rune arc. We'll pick that up. So this is a helm, not a particularly good helm in my opinion, but it is a crystalline based helm. So it's not great when it comes to striking attacks, as it says. Anyway, we're gonna head up here. Ouch. Here, and I thought I was being smart by using the trap. All right, let's see if we can get back to where we were before. All right, that's better. So as we come in here, we've got a couple more of these. So go around here, wait for this guy to drop down. We're gonna kill him too. Okay, so we're gonna drop down here. And then I recommend that you preferably deal with these guys from afar if you can. Magic always works great. We're not close enough to him to really hit him with anything useful right now. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to keep him in the center if I can, even if I have to take some unnecessary hits. Because there's another one on the outskirts of this, and I don't want to alert him if I can avoid it. If you just want to sneak, though, you can also do that as well. Otherwise, though, I'm going to go ahead and give this guy a run for his money. There we go. I got lucky. So try to be quiet. These guys have excellent hearing. So I got another one of these prattling pates. That's going to be it. Unfortunately, as you head around the corner here, there's another one coming. Step on this, though, and he's going to get shot. Super useful. And then we're going to head up here. There's another one up here, final one. This one will have the opportunity to backstab, though. I thought I was going to avoid that attack. Anyway, we're going to get the page ashes. Oh, I forgot about you. Don't be like me and just walk in. Anyway, got an old fang, and then we've got our route open to the boss. So if you want to heal, you can heal. This is going to be another one of these Erd Tree Burial Watchdog enemies. This one does magic. It'll do some magic that flies towards you. It'll also do magic whenever it does its pounding into the ground attack, plunging attack. So be aware of that. It's actually got the weapon that we picked up. Where is it? That. It's got the Watchdog staff, so it does quite a bit of strength damage. The other thing to be wary about this boss is that this boss isn't really particularly susceptible to anything. He's actually resistant to everything except for strike. And he's even resistant to strike. He's just not as resistant to strike as he is everything else. So this boss kind of stinks in that regard. Otherwise, we are going to get some help, obviously, from our boys. So you can roll under his attacks, as you can see. Those are going to try to come after you. I don't know why that jump attack didn't do anything to him. Anyway, that's going to be that place. I don't like this place. Mainly because of those enemies that we faced up to this point, but that's going to do it for this place. So next we're going to head to the Academy Crystal Cave. Again, you're going to want a bonk weapon for this particular boss in this place. So you'll also need to make sure that you've got a stone sword key to enter this place. If you've been following along, we've been getting plenty of stone sword keys. This will actually be the last one we use in this place for a little while at least. But if you need more, you can, of course, go to the Isolated Merchant. He's got some. Patches has some. The Nomadic Merchant over here has some. Most of the merchants are carrying at least one of them. And then, of course, the Twin Maiden Husks back at the Round Table Hold also have them, too. Otherwise, though, we're going to head to number 4 on our map now. So for this enemy, I'm actually going to unequip my sacred abilities. We're going to undo the enhancement on that, return it to its normal weapon. Because we're going to want to be able to put fire on it. The bosses we're going to be facing in this area are going to be both strike as well as fire. So when you get down here, be aware that there are going to be a bunch of these sorcerers. They like their glintstone magic, by the way, so... There's a group of them there. We're going to go around here, backstab this one. It's going to get the attention of that one. So they do have the ability to smack you with their hand outside of just casting stuff, so... They'll usually do it right after their glintstone attack. Otherwise, we're going to hug the right-hand side of this place. That's the path forward. For this crystal moth stuff. Alright, so we're going to head down here for an item before we head towards the next section. So I've got another stone sword key here to replace the one that we used earlier. So we're going to head down this path and wait for this guy to kind of turn away and move away. Because there's a secret passage over here. Give this guy a backstab. Oh, it looks like we alerted that guy. So this guy we really want to get a backstab on if we can. He's going to park himself back in front of the door over here. Otherwise, we'll go and drop down here. Pick up another rune arc, and we're going to wait for this enemy to come back around and stand here. Alright, so once you kill them, you are good. So, this boss requires a box stick. It's also a good idea to summon in this fight because we're going to be against two enemies at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and craft some more fire. So a combination of bonk stick and fire will be good. Jump attacks are really great because they have very low poise, so you can very easily interrupt their attacks. I'm going to pop that. We're going to pop that. So let your wolves, or whatever you decide to bring into this fight, initiate combat against one of them. So this one is, in my opinion, more irritating because he's not as easy to interrupt. This guy, though, is super easy to interrupt. Usually. They have a shield, by the way, that until you break the shield... There we go. Now he can be interrupted by everything. Anyway, that's going to be that fight. Before you use the wisp, we're going to go ahead and head out here. So you're gonna get magic, and we are actually literally inside the Raya Lucaria Academy now. However, down is not the way to get in. So we're gonna go ahead and exit this place now. So in the next episode, we're going to tackle some final things in Liurnia before we go ahead and travel over to the gate at the Raya Lucaria Academy. So we're getting pretty close to getting started on that place, which is another legacy dungeon, even crazier than Stormvale. So I hope you look forward to that. Otherwise, that's going to do it, everybody, for this episode. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Later.